I'm Chief Kevin Anderson. Welcome to the new Shrewsbury Police Station. Welcome to the lobby of the new police station. This police station is over 43,000 square feet, and here at Shrewsbury Police, we use 21st century model of policing. And that's where you focus on 6 pillars within policing, and that's building trust and legitimacy within the community, policy and oversight on everything you do, community policing and crime reduction, technology and social media, officer training and education, and officer wellness and safety. And if you utilize those pillars, you foster great relationships within the community and you have an effective police department. This building was built on those principles. And as you can see within the building, the lobby is very inviting, very warm. That's intentional, and we did that so people feel comfortable coming here to the police station. We have an area for records if you have to get an accident report or an incident report, as well as you could apply for a license to carry. Also, we have a training room off the lobby of the police station, and behind me is dispatch, where if you wanted to have an officer do a house check while you're on vacation, or if you wanted to talk to a police officer about an incident. Also within the lobby, we have 2 interview rooms where you could speak privately with a police officer. And the reason why they're here is so you don't have to go through the entire building to speak to a police officer. Also, this has changed in policing. We once focused on an arrest and detention model. Now we're more community focused. In fact, in this lobby, we have 2 community rooms right off the lobby that can be utilized by the public and be booked right through our patrol sergeant. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Police Department training room. One of the pillars of 21st century policing is training and educating officers. It's been proven that a better trained, educated officer treats the public better, there's less liability, and they're more compassionate with the public. Here we have 50 seats where we can host outside training and also do our in-house training. And this meets International Association Chiefs of Police standards. And it also is our Emergency Operations Center. This Emergency Operations Center is also connected with the break room upstairs, the laundry room, and also locker rooms. So if we had a major large-scale event like a tornado or a hurricane or an ice storm, and we needed multiple agencies meeting, we could meet in this room. Off the training room, we have an area for when people take breaks during training. They can have their lunch out here, they can come out here during a break. This area here can also be used by staff from the town hall, which is a short walk away. They can come here for their lunch or breaks throughout the day. This here is the staff's break room. This break room also can be used by the Emergency Operations Center. We had to be here for a long-term, high-skill event, like a hurricane, a tornado, or an ice storm. Members of that Emergency Operations Center team could be here for up to 7 days. We have locker room facilities that can be utilized by the Emergency Operations Center, as well as a laundry. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Police Detective Bureau. Currently we have 5 detectives, 1 detective lieutenant, office is right there. The middle office is a detective sergeant. And at the end we have a conference room where the Detective Bureau can have meetings and conduct additional training as well. In the middle here, we have an additional conference area, and this can be expanded for up to 30 people if we had a task force meeting or a high-scale operation. And then on this side, we have space for additional detectives. And as policing continues to change and evolve, we have additional workstations for various aspects within the community. Also, this building is designed so instead of building out, you can build in. So we could add additional workstations on the inside of this area. Also, we have a cupola at the top of the building. Those colors can be changed for various things throughout the year. And also we have 2 an evidence storage area and a record storage area, high density storage that uses about 1/3 of the space of regular storage. And next is the administration office. This here is the operations lieutenant, administrative sergeant's office. administrative lieutenant's office, and the chief's office. Our next area is the Community Services Division. This past February, we added an additional division within the department. That's a Community Services Division. And as I said earlier, the policing has changed over the years. It was once an arrest and detention model, and now it's more of a community-based model. So in this division, we have a full-time mental health clinician that responds to calls with us, with patrol. We have an elder affairs officer, and we also have 2 school resource officers. One is a school resource officer for the high school, and one is a school resource officer for the rest of the schools within the district. This next room is our training room. This is where we do our de-escalation training. We have 2 sergeants within the department that are trained through Georgetown University through active bystandership for law enforcement. That's where a law enforcement of any rank can intervene with another officer where a situation may not be going perfectly. We do that training here. We also do handcuffing techniques, our taser deployment, and this is also used for our RAD training. This next area is for future expansion for a traffic division. Currently, we do not have a traffic division, but as our population and our traffic population continues to grow, we want to put on a full-time traffic division. Traffic continues to be our #1 complaint throughout town, and as the traffic population grows, we need to conduct traffic enforcement, education, and traffic calming is our approach. Right here is our multi-faith room. That is for officers and staff, as well as people that are coming throughout the building can use that to pray or just to be alone. Oftentimes our officers see things that are very difficult to see. So this is an area where they can go, and if they need to be alone, or if they want to pray, they can do so. Our next room is our locker room. There are gender-neutral bathroom and locker facilities to accommodate both staff and the public's needs throughout the building. This here is our patrol sergeants area. It also is a secondary emergency operations center for the town. This holds 12 workstations. Currently, we have 6 patrol sergeants, and we have an office down here that we have a court prosecutor sergeant, as well as a training coordinator and professional development sergeant. Next room we're going into will be roll call. This here holds 25 seats. It can accommodate 2 shifts. And this is where patrol sergeants gives out the duties for the day, goes over pertinent information for officers on the street. And also this is where the officers store their body cameras, and they put them in that portal that goes up, and everything gets stored on the cloud. We also conduct short training videos here. We call them roll call videos, and those are about 10 to 20 minutes long. This area right here is for the officers' mail. Each officer has their own mailbox, and this is a drying station for officers' equipment. So if they come in and their boots are wet or their uniform's wet, they can place it here and it can dry naturally. Next room we're entering is the garage. Animal control officer's office, and the animal control storage is on that side. We also have an officer for K9 and its handler. And we have various equipment and supply closets. Off at the end of the garage, we have a secure area where if we bring in a car, we can place it there and process it for either crime scene, or if it's an accident, we can determine how the accident was caused. And that's a secure area for investigations. Out back here, we have all our fleet. We have 30 cruisers, 2 motorcycles, a jet ski, a boat, and we also have a canopy so we can store our cruisers under there, and we don't have to clear off the snow. This here is the first floor meal locker room in the facility. Show you the lockers here. These lockers are able to store all the officers' gear. They are also vented so they can be climate controlled. Also, the officers have a foot locker as well. The next area we're going into is the Department Wellness Center. One of the pillars of 21st century policing is officer wellness and safety. Officer wellness and safety is very important to the police department. Unfortunately, the occupational fatality for law enforcement officers is 3 to 5 times greater than that of the national average. Law enforcement leaders must create an atmosphere that can take officers from the classroom to a reality-based environment. We're here in the Milo Training Center of the department. Milo stands for Multiple Interactive Learning Objectives. It's a simulated training system with 3 screens. It's important to take the officers from the classroom where knowledge is learned to a reality-based environment where the knowledge can be practically applied in a controlled setting under varying degrees of stress. In fact, we have several Milo instructors on staff, and they have the ability to change the course of the situation based on the officer's response. For example, if we had a scene right here and the officer needed to perform effective de-escalation techniques, create some distance, and avoid the need to use possible deadly force, the Milo instructor would change the scenario based on how that officer performs his or her duties.
Well, you stay over there, it's a range bag, I can go through it, but for my safety, I'd like you to stay over there.
We're here in the prisoner processing area. We have 2 workstations so we can process 2 detainees at once. In our department, we do not have the arresting officer be the booking officer if we can do so. And also that makes it safer for the officers and detainees. And also there's a separation. They're separated within a cell and they can process the detainee through the opening. The prisoner processing area is compliant with the state public health code. There are no sharp edges, there's no bull-nosed corners, and this makes it safer for the detainee as well as the staff that's interacting with the detainee behind the booking area. This is the prisoner fingerprint processing area where the fingerprints are taken, they're submitted to the state to verify the person's identification. Now we're in the Shrewsbury Police Department Sally Port area. This Sally Port is a secure entryway into the police station through which access is controlled by a series of doors. In fact, only one door can be open at a time. This access control helps ensure that there are layers of protection during prisoner transfer. The officer would bring the prisoner in through this door, secure that door, and then also at that point secure their weapon in these gun lockers. We do not allow weapons within the lockup facility for the safety of the staff as well as the detainees. We have 9 cells in the holding facility, and all cells are compliant with the state public health code. Each cell has its own locker for that particular cell. Here we have our evidence storage area. I'm not going to be showing that today. We only have 2 employees that have access to all our evidence, and that's our evidence sergeant and evidence officer. That's where all the evidence is stored for future court dates, and also where our evidence is processed and transferred to state labs. And this is our evidence receiving area. When a patrol officer or detective comes out from a call, they can temporarily store that evidence on this side, and then the only one that has access on the other side of that locker is the evidence sergeant and evidence officer. This here is our department armory. This is where all our firearms and our rifles are stored. And it's also where they're maintained, and if there's things that need to be fixed on them, that's done in this area as well. Welcome to our dispatch center. Here we have 4 workstations. This is where our 911 calls come in. It's also the 911 calls are also associated with GPS, so we can identify right where that person's calling from. Also, we have our records management system, and we have the cameras throughout the building. We have approximately 120 cameras inside and outside. This communication center is also built to house unified dispatch, so we can do dispatching throughout the entire town for all the departments. This is the officer's workstation. This is an area where they could have privacy, working on their reports, also conducting follow-up investigations. And at the end of the hall here, we have a private phone room that officers can use to either call their family members if they need some privacy, or if they want to talk to a victim or a witness in private, they can do so in that room. This is our quartermaster room. The quartermaster officer is responsible for making sure equipment, materials, and systems are available and function for daily police department operations. Here at the Shrewsbury Police Department, we feel it's very important to know your why you do the job you do. The dispatchers in the communications center chose this quote, which they felt represents their why. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the new police station, and on behalf of the entire department, I want to thank the community for supporting us in this new police station project. If you'd like to schedule a tour, please reach out to us. We will be scheduling on a regular basis over the next several months. And as we say here at the Shrewsbury Police Department, we serve better together.